Good morning, media world. This is Lori Ann Hamilton. Hello. That's not really how I say my name. My name is Lori Hamilton. And I have been reaching out to you guys to show you all the collusion and corruption of the violence of women, systemic violence, and powers of abuses for some time now. So I'm going to continue because that's what we do. Yes, the founding fathers, my ancestors, were fuckheads. Let's just put it out there. My family alone were fuckheads. And I have been deemed the warrior labels. What do we do with that? So I'm sending you the beginning of, well, I don't know. I'm calling it the culling of the calculation of the collusion and complicity of corruption here that they've buried me under the hill. But I'm in Alexandria, Virginia, right? It's a small little bubble. I would call it a HillHole. Okay? Y'all been biting my lines and we've been suffering in silence. But who cares about white looking? I'm actually mixed. Note the Hamilton name, right? Alas, my Powhatan blood bubbles here in the wake of my civil rights, human rights, activism, abolitionist heart. I've been beaten down by more than every shade of the rainbow and my family. So I'm showing you guys a little bit of the science that everybody knows, but who am I? Who am I? Well, I don't know. I'm not the false narratives that they say that I am, but I do have the burden of proof and evidence. But who cares, right? I do.
For shame, for shame.
Well, good morning. It's Lori. Welcome back. We have the nightingale sing us a song. I'm about to take it back. I'm taking it back to the old school, 'cause I'm an old fool who's so cool. Can you dig it? So today I'm going to start because I am still, do you hear me, birdie? Yes, little birdie, singing out the songs of freedom. We're scouring the cesspool on the hill, and I'm going to read you the origin of a good day urgent message that I sent that started this whole upheaval on the hill to bury me under the hill as the diamond in the rough that is me. Now, we're still covering the White Rage edition. Me breaking down the myths of white privilege and all the other colors in the spectrum. I am reading you February 5th, 2019 at 4:21 p.m. Busy people, right? There's a lot of implied messages undergirding everything that I say. Lots of side notes. So I'm going to start off on this email that I sent on February 5th at 4:21. Laurie Hamilton to Peter Ballas. Ballas. Now, side note, me as an educator and a drama queen and just the queen of questions and just the queen of queens and just the Aries, Empress, Emperor, whatever label you feel comfortable with being in my presence, applying so that you may be able to stay here in my presence of all the grandiosity and audacity Okay? Hi. So, it is crack ass early. It's 6:18 a.m. and I am covering what started off this snowball. Well, the domino effect had already been in, but this is just the culling of the calculation of cropdom. Let me clear my throat. No, 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 no. Ballas. Friday afternoon, January 25th, 2019. Okay, let me stop here for a minute, you guys. Now, I do need to use my white voice, okay? Okay. This is a long note. I have my coffee. Would you guys like some caramel espresso? Mmm. Southern brown sugar style. Oh yeah. Here we go. Sippity sip. Mmm. My coffee eyes on. Alrighty. And here we go. Throat chakra's kind of blocked for a minute now. Ballas. Friday afternoon, January 25th, 2019, while speaking with Skylar and her teacher in the hallway at the office doorway, I was taken aback by your presence, like that of a myth that appeared from a cloud. The 2 years of your evasion, whether known or unbeknownst to you, I'm making you aware of your faculty's transgressions and false representations against me, amongst other notable violations unanswered by anyone thus far in Schuyler's battle for justice. There is yet to be any favorable responses. Nay, silence is not golden. I inquired to a previous encounter, albeit most brief, on the first time I saw you last year, 2018. You responded no to me when I asked you if in fact you were Mr. Ballas. You feigned ignorance and disregarded the question with, I'm nice. There is no gracious or efficient way to note the irrelevance of the term nice, understandably. I've turned to the side project of theoretical petri dishes of experiments with others and my own cognitive dissonance that weave the winds of change. As many transactions in my quest for why and how we can ameliorate these grossly dismissed abuses of powers and derelictions of duties and other actions shall be presented to you by common courtesy firstly, yet necessarily by requirements, even when our own liberties and questions have been denied, altered, and improperly handled. I have had no recourse, nor support in healing, nor atonement, for Schuyler nor I, from these matters. Friday's brief inquiries, now almost 3 weeks ago, to a response were dismissed with a question of, have I emailed you? And a quickened gathering my phone number and a saying that you would call me to speak. My ego says, apropos to the 7 years of tribulations we have endured thus far in the safe and secure hands of leadership of T.C. Williams High School and the VDOE, the Virginia Department of Education, and further accomplices complicit in the matters at hand still to date. I have even, with more than too many questions still needed answered, in mine and Schuyler's unwarranted condemnation and subjugation under coercive controlling mitigating factors, too large for my mind and heart to fathom, our forced isolation has afforded and blessed me ample reflection, inspection, and incubation opportunity to directly analyze comprehensively using scientific methods, spiritual, holotropic, universal laws, and codes of ethics, laws, and strategies to synthesize and disseminate toxic, destructive patterns and evaluate, isolate variables according to just survive and know my place and like it as scapegoats of scapegoats and ghostwriter of ghostwriters. Such a beastly embodiment of evidence to study in this chapter of my many lives. I am love and light, though. However your perception of this statement resonates with you, I realize the hate for me daily reminded myself with mantras that I must always stand up to bullies. I'm used to it. Aghast at the American dream, but by Bushrod and God, this too shall pass. Open dialogue. I have more than openly and willingly wanted to share, care, and value one another under an upside-down value systems. I understand, yet questions remain. The toxic environment as a whole has destroyed more than the collective. The linguist in me ignites the quantum grammar activities compartment and region to inspect the term and your meaning of nice. I would hope that you would, in fact, be nice, as the term is presently utilized instead of your previous behaviors and demeanor, characterized by the original meaning stemming from the Middle English in the sense stupid, from Old French, from Latin necious, ignorant, and from nescere, not know, nescere. Other early senses included coy, reserved, giving rise to fastidious and scrupulous. This led to both the sense fine, subtle, regarded by some as the correct sense, and to the main current senses, nice. I have also attached the dictionary result for nice here that I will not go into. That y'all can read it for yourself. It has the link as well. Anyone that knows how to Google it. So I continue with passing on with the dictionary and going on with my own. Furthermore, I was hoping to speak with Mr. Brown and have asked for him for several times, in which I'm still not privy to the same rights and information under current administration and staff. His brave outburst of confirmation of my many expressions of stating the obvious that even a first grader knows, as I have been saying for 6.5 years at this school, that no one here likes you, meaning me, of course. Consistent and continual public shaming that I am forced to exist under currently is noted in excess, as is its overt and covert residual causes and effects are most prevalent. Yes, little bird, I see you right there in front on my balcony, singing the songs of freedom, looking straight at me. Okay, and we hear you well and wise. Now I will continue with the onslaught of my linguist verbosity. Nonetheless, I have special skills that make me aware of disapproval and behaviors and judgments of people. In his questionable absence, Mr. Brown, Mr. Tim Brown, that is. In his questionable absence, I cannot speak for him, nor the other faculty and staff that have fallen to this battle for truth and justice in the wake of the agendas set forth in place, galvanized and steadily corroding this school and systems instilled at micro and macro levels. These truths and justices, being universal, are checks and balances in the pendulum of natural order. I gather you, as a leader, needn't be informed of. In my natural state, without judgment or convictions to ever dismantle me, I've been known to be rather silly, funny, and sweet. This latter state is my preferable state I wish to return to within this world, and not solely alone in Schuyler's presence. You and I have not been officially introduced, for I am living under false pretenses placed upon me by misrepresentation and misguidance. I have tried to rectify in spherical arenas. mm. Alas. Hello, sir. My name is Laurie Hamilton, mother, legal guardian, protector, and defender, and many other titles and duties too verbose to list thus far, of Schuyler Hamilton Hamlin. The pleasure is mine. There is undeniably urgent matters at hand to attend to, and as many labels I can place forth to you here. I come to you as a leader, mother, and human rights activist in hopes to collaborate, even co-create, a discourse, a negotiations path and course of reach approach for not only Schuyler and I, nay, for all, in which we are all sworn to abide by. Surely you as well must abide by the code in which you have taken an oath, kind sir. I have many methods of discourse dissemination in multimedia approaches that I, as an instructional designer, healer, and educated, have allocated, amalgamated, and utilized targeting problem solutions based theories and strategies using holistic multidisciplinary methods of my own accord as best as my own devices have enabled me. Reverse engineering is most efficient. I start with questions. Herein lies the issues I've had since misinformation, closed lines of communication, and other illegal, nefarious tactics are your current method of operations emulated. For example, by Miss Ignacio and Miss Moran, in which you should collaborate in order for further understanding. Bullet points. Lori Lingo, I like to call them target. What do we call them, people? We call them tag spears. Tag team back again, huh? So, tag spears. We are spears of truth. Here's a tag spear. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and onward, probably. 1. How do lines of communication open with true purpose of non-egotistical offensive measures be measured and altered? 2. Why are human rights, disability rights, women's rights, and other dereliction of duties and malicious conduct under ableism and unwarranted tactics allowed to be minimized, dismissed, and reframed as I am the enemy and must be accosted daily under false pretenses, egregious mitigating factors, allegations, and misinformed staff? 3. How do couching and ingratiation tactics and methods, dismissiveness and privacy laws violated, and coercive control and abuses of power by the leaders themselves help build a better world for our children? 4. Where is the honor and bravery in destroying a woman or disabled child, person, or anyone, in all honesty? Why do I even need to ask this? Edit, edit. Why do I even need to ask this? Or justify myself under the very law that we are all presumed innocent until proven guilty? My crime shall be stated in many forms of my audacity to marry a narcissistic man and breed a handicapped child. Yes, this has been stated to me in every shade of the fruit that bears the witness's life, amongst unimaginably disturbing vitriol, as even you can imagine. My defiance to acquiesce to such slanderous, insidious, disgraceful tactics for the greater good, or that I deserve it, have yet to be defended, nor my self-actualization to live freely under any law. Truly and clearly my idea that absolutely no one deserves such treatment is as different as I am. Yet, diversity is life, scientifically proven, and laws are clearly established to protect and defend such diversities, no matter how offensive they are deemed by the attacker, exploiter, or terrorist of reason and liberties. There can be no justification for the unjustifiable, clearly stated in A Course in Miracles. Yes, I do believe, and believe in miracles. And no. Why is it okay to see Hollywood and the media cover movies and stories that society would deny us? Schuyler and I, and those of comorbid, diverse factors and labels. The very privilege of rights by others not to suffer in silence. Ego Overdrive registers with inquiries to further inspection. Quote, "The world is in front of them. Give them the world. They'll want to remember these moments." Unquote. This is the yearbook slogan in my email this very week. Pray tell how? This is utter mockery. Why would I want to remember such abuses, much less for Schuyler to remember? Yet we will, and still, suffer and breathe in the toxic cesspool of designed and executed injustices. The scars and stripes of our sufferings dismissed and covered up by the very hubris, hypocritical offenders that feel entitled to the luxuries and freedoms we have been denied. Let it be dismantled, the dismay of the existence of idea and being that dwells in it. A more enlightening question I had. Since the lines of dialogue are currently locked yet, shall open as the Red Sea, a sea quite dear to me indeed. In my quest to formulate, for future references and generations, a path within nurture versus nature. Ding ding. And the overall systems of being. I wonder how we can carve our own paths. Everyone can honor my ancestors in full grandiosity, yet not me. Why is this? I am human, just as others, more or less. Yet I am deemed too much and not enough, all in the same sentence. More on that later. In my indignation and cries for Schuyler's redemption on the previous year of your call to duty as principal of TC, my well-documented fall from grace was scorned and noted. A great tremble that reverberated through the school. I must confess, in my own defense, the mother's roar of medicine and epigenetics ripped through my heart so venomous, as if the great war upon me was only mine, as if many of my predecessors had not their own battles raging in them, My invasive surgeon war mama cried out. Sometimes you just have to lynch the cancer of a toxic body of being instead of putting ointment and a band-aid on it. And other medicinal and military terms I have been educated under. I gather my tears alone in the audacity of the very idea that a mother should defend her disabled child was blasphemous. For I know how being seen as a cancer and the invasive and evasive tactics to remove me bear on my mind, body, and soul. Truly, truly, I do apologize for having to reflect society's rage, and projections back to their source. Truly, I do apologize for having to reflect society's rage and projections back to their source. Truly, it's unbecoming. These reflections I note from every person that Skylar and I encounter for many reasons. It's more than ungodly to do so, much less. Well, I do feel disgusting and apologize to those affected and to the universe. And the universe always responds. I happened upon Marianne 2020 official announcement. The YouTube link is right there. And was godsmacked by the hypocrisy yet again. Then the quiet reminder that we all have our path. Pave the way. One more time. Then the quiet reminder that we all have our path. Pave the way and stay in the right, by the light, by the code. Be honorable and true and factual and love. And, yet again, my ego head goes to question, wow, what if I were any like me? For I am you, and you are me, and we are we, fact. Enough of the hippie talk, and all that is me, for now. What if we were celebrated and included? Bullet point. Tag spiel. What if I had been supported, such as her, Marianne, and others seen, even now, since I could litigate the fact ad nauseum as well? A daily rumination with myself to serve. If any would wonder and wander through the wakes of the what-ifs, yes, sir, know that I truly wish to be used for the better of all, as it is documented how, where, what, and who, and why I, Skylar, in many case studies, have been exploited. Such, back up. What if I have been supported, such as her, Marianne, and others seen, even now, since I could litigate the fact ad nauseum as well? A daily rumination with myself to serve. If any would wonder and wander through the wakes of the what-ifs, yes, sir, know that I truly wish to be used for the better of all, as it is documented how, where, what, who, and why I, Skylar, in many case studies, have been exploited, used, and destroyed as examples and expendables. That is why I, and many are here, to figure it out and fix it for the people, by the people, of the people, all people. as if justice has an expiration. I cough at the very notion, as does justice does unto itself. I digress. We all have our paths. For now, I have to pioneer and initiate and sacrifice, as so many have before us have. As so many before us have, to forge a better path. For we all stand in judgment. Schuyler and I have been convicted, condemned, by man's and women's intents, by our very existence, to be sure. Yet, zeitgeist in full effect begs further inquiries. A current movie in the media on the basis of sex is yet another universal sign that hopefully we will be unchained by the false self and lives set for us and be free to pursue community, acceptance, and happiness sooner than death. For death, too, we both have survived as well. I can only state, as one being destroyed by such complicity to hypocrisy, and in my own atonement as a survivor and scapegoat of generational curses and misappropriate behaviors, misappropriations and maleficence of my family's endeavors to propagate such horrors upon me that only God alone could bear the burden to guide me, and many that endure as I have, as Schuyler has, and others to heal and lead in love. I've acquired knowledge and strategies that cannot be appreciated by those that are indifferent to the suffering of others. Social sciences aside for the time being, all knowledge and light is acquired as lessons and blessings. Where one's focus goes, energy flows. I have to edit out that motorcycle by. Where one's focus goes, where one's focus goes, energy flows. Jesus and many great men have been persecuted unjustly and exonerated, venerated, and idolized. Of my reverence in my discipleship under such great leadership and communal celebration, I realize I am no man. I am a woman, and this, too, shall be celebrated in every way. I am reaching out to all those that have been on this healing and learning journey. I am reaching out to all those that have been on this healing and learning journey to give them the same respects and courtesy of an authentic human, in hopes that we all can lead and follow alike as one, and be used as examples, for we are just the past and the future presently. I have paid enough penance through disservice of my own and Schuyler's marginalization and martyrdom of my own purposes to fill the void of humanity. I will not apologize for trying to make anything better. I pray the future affords the quality of life that my ancestors documented and executed to form this great country. For now, I stand alone, defending Schuyler with my every being of existence against darkness, in the courage of my knowing and codes and convictions, in hopes that any should join Schuyler and I will be blessed and loved as well, as we all are, without knowing such. To you, Ballas, I would agree we both, you and I, have been nice in every sense of the word. I believe a nice round table of great minds and efforts to come to an accord are well overdue, don't you? I pray you say, yea. Indeed, like any present, we are gifted. Shall we at least celebrate this? Thank you kindly, sir, and I await you still. Regards, Laurie Ann Hamilton. All of the links are included. On this, I will leave you with a blissful kiss. Into the wake of the world we go. I will wake the sky. Skylar sleeps, slumbers so sweetly. The cars tumble and rumble outside, still in the peak of the morning. I will have your little caramel espresso waiting as I wander and watch outside as the dump trucks awaken the community and the birds fluffle and shuffle as the sheep that weep. Onto this note, my sarcasm and sweetness of slander. Begone the full moon of Capricorn, my Capricorn rising. Am I just talking just to hear myself talk? Who would do that? Well, I don't know. My Gemini moon, maybe, just to be able to argue every corner of a circle. But who has time for all of that? Away, away, away we go into the day. I hope you guys are all more than okay. You know that I love you. And on in the trenches, I will dig up, scorn these bitches. Okay? I like that okay. It's almost as pretty as a 4-letter word nice. Or help. Make sure that your help in the world is actually more assistive. That's what we do. We want to stop saying 4-letter words and use more assistive words. Okay. That's enough for now. Ciao for now, you guys. I have to play it up, okay? It's only been 35 minutes and 55 seconds. What? What?